Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. We've got an interesting video for you today because we are doing a 2017 redraft for the top 10 picks. This is going to be a fun one. A lot of times the 2017 draft is referred to, so we're going to go back in time 3+ years and say teams get a redo.
Yeah, before we start, Jordan's going to be the one reading off the picks, but I do want to say this is an especially important draft to all three of us at the table because this is where we all have our quarterbacks of the moment that are on our teams got drafted. In this draft, me and Jordan being Bears fans, drafted Trubisky, and Ryan being the Texans fan, they drafted Deshaun Watson. So, Jordan, now start us off.
Well, you hear one of those names pretty quickly, but we're going to start with the obvious decision that is, well, first of all, the team that is picking first is the Cleveland Browns, and we've all seen what Patrick Mahomes has done in his career already, winning an MVP, winning a Super Bowl, many other milestones as well in his young career, and many to come. Patrick Mahomes is the first overall pick to the Cleveland Browns, a team that has been struggling at the quarterback position, especially before this time. They didn't even have Baker Mayfield yet, so a very good pick that would put their franchise in the upward trending direction.
Yeah, they drafted Myles Garrett, just for reference. That's not a bad pick either. One of the better defensive players in the NFL, but Patrick Mahomes, from what we've seen from him, they needed a quarterback at this time. At this time, they hadn't had a good quarterback in 35 years. So obviously, that would be where they would go with it. I don't see any other direction, even though the talent they have with Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and then you just look at, say they do get Mahomes in 2017, but then you go to 2018, then maybe they take Saquon Barkley first overall in 2018 because they wouldn't take another quarterback. Then you'd have Mahomes and Barkley on that team, and then if Mahomes did go to Cleveland, you'd have Mahomes versus Lamar twice a year. That'd be fun. So
yeah, I think things would have played differently if Mahomes was on that team. So maybe they wouldn't have the same draft spot. But actually, he didn't play his first year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Just fun to think about.
Yeah, fun to think about. Exactly. Let's think about this next one, though. At pick number 2, it is the Bears, who we kept them trading up just because we thought it would be more interesting, I guess, since they trade up in real life to actually get a quarterback. They do the same here, but it's not Trubisky. No. It's Ryan's quarterback for the Texans, Deshaun Watson. The Bears to trade up to take Deshaun Watson, quarterback out of Clemson.
Yeah, this is funny to think about this scenario because you look at, I'm a Texans fan, you guys are a Bears fan, this is a fun scenario. I think that would be a good pick. I think it's fun to wonder because Deshaun Watson's such a different type of quarterback from Mr. Trubisky, so it's just fun to, kind of wonder how he'd be used in that offense. Would he run as much? Would he get rid of the ball quicker? It's just fun to think, and you wonder how far could he have taken them? The Bears' defense, that year they were good. The defense was really good. The offense was kind of inconsistent, so you wonder if they had him, could they have gone further into the playoffs, maybe gotten a first-round bye because they just missed out on that. So this is really a fun one to think about, what could they have done. But, obviously, there was a lot of, mixed opinions on this quarterback class at the time back in 2017. I remember that. So, yeah, it's another fun one to think about.
Yeah, and when you think about top young quarterbacks in the league, probably the first two that would come to your mind is the number 1 overall pick in our draft and the number 2 overall pick in our draft being Deshaun Watson going to the Bears at number 2. Pretty evident that Trubisky should not be picked second overall here.
We hold that truth
and I'm saying that as a Bears fan and a guy who actually does not hate Trubisky like everyone else in Chicago does as much.
Let's move on to our next one. The first two were kind of easy for us, so this next one we're going to talk about it. And this one left me and Ryan asking, Tyler, what is the plan for this next pick, of course?
Yeah.
So we decided to go hesitantly, since there are so many great players, but hesitantly. Well, first of all, it's the 49ers picking, by the way, at pick number 3. But we decided to go with Jamal Adams, the safety who was currently on the Jets, going to the 49ers at pick 3.
We could have gone Myles Garrett here. And, that question got addressed to me. We decided, as a whole, to go with Jamal Adams. And it's not a huge knock on Myles Garrett. We just feel like the fit there with Jamal Adams could easily go into any team, especially the 49ers team.
Plus, they
in
got
2017.
Bosa, too. That was part of the reason why I wanted them
That's
to
later on,
get Jamal Adams.
And then you look at this, their original pick was Solomon Thomas out of Stanford. So their original plan was to kind of go to Stanford, but this was kind of a remastered plan. They did something totally different.
Right.
So,
this remastered plan would work real well.
Yeah.
Well, but it can't work. It's not going to work this summer, though.
Yeah.
It might.
I mean, we gotta wait till the fall until the season starts and the action.
See how things progress. Yeah.
All right,
fun hypotheticals in this video.
Let's go to the next pick.
All Next pick is pick number 4, if you know how to count. If not, that's what I'm here for, but sometimes I don't even know how to count either. Anyways, the Jaguars hold this pick. In real life, they picked running back Leonard Fournette. They do go running back with this pick, but it's not Leonard Fournette. It is one of the better running backs in the league, someone that just got paid, the highest paid running back in the NFL currently. He's more than just a running back. He's such a phenomenal player all around the field. The Swiss Army knife Christian McCaffrey drafted to the Jaguars at pick 4.
I mean, once again, you look at this running back class, and Christian McCaffrey is clearly the best. I mean, we're going to talk about another running back later on, as a little spoiler. Leonard Fournette is not that running back. There is talent there, but Christian McCaffrey deserved to be the highest paid running back in the league, not just because of his running abilities, because he's basically a wide receiver at the running back position that is also a really good running back. Like Jordan said, the Swiss Army knife can do anything, and that's the type of running back a team needs, and they needed desperately a running back this offseason, so Christian McCaffrey was definitely the way to go.
Yeah, Fournette wasn't horrible. He did have some good years, but McCaffrey would have by far.
The thing with Fournette, I think he's a good running back, but he's just one of those guys who can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
All right, we move on to pick 5 if you're still following along and you're counting. This is the Titans who have this pick. They originally picked wide receiver Corey Davis. That didn't work out.
He's been inconsistent.
He's been inconsistent, absolutely. We talked about Myles Garrett earlier. We said we might have had him going to the 49ers, but we had him slipping 2 spots down, going to the Titans at pick 5, and they got themselves a heck of a player.
Like I said, this wasn't a knock on Myles Garrett. It was just the fact that we saw players that were just a sliver ahead or maybe a different need in that year. So Myles Garrett was where we went in this position. Hopefully no more helmets are flung around the field. That has been a problem. But this is a huge addition to this Titans team. So we really like that pick as we got there. And we think this would be a steal. Obviously all these are steals because
they get a redo.
Perfectly. So
they all get remastered plans.
So that's where we're going with that one. We're halfway through this video. So let's keep going.
All right, on to pick 6. It is the Jets. They originally picked Jamal Adams, who was already off the board in our little 2017 redraft here. So they pick a guy that was drafted later than a lot of people that we're naming on this list. Right now, he was more of an underrated talent guy, and this is someone that I really love. I think he's a player who is in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year next year, and that's T.J. Watt to the Jets at pick 6.
Yeah, he really had a really good year last year, so definitely could see him going this high if they redid it.
Yeah. Another guy that really had his resurgence recently, it didn't come up right away, but he's got the genes, obviously, with his brother J.J., being the huge defensive threat.
Don't forget about Derek.
Been.
Yeah. Well, Derek and TJ are teammates in real life now.
Yeah,
that's true.
Should be fun.
But, I mean, you look at this pick, might not be the most pretty pick. You go, oh my gosh, T.J. Watt, wow. But just wait later on as his season next year and his career progresses. Watch out for him, and you'll probably see why we're putting him here so high in the draft.
Well said.
Mm-hmm. All right, next pick. It is pick number 7. It is the Chargers. I actually don't remember who that actually
Mike
drafted.
Williams.
Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So this is a guy that was more underrated again, who was drafted later, but he's turned out to be a great talent. The Chargers did end up getting Hunter Henry later in time, but they decided to go with another tight end. They go George Kittle, the phenomenal tight end who is currently with the 49ers. He had such a great young career so far. He's going to be one of the stars of our game come. And so that's what they go at pick number 7 here at.
George Kittle is already one of, if not the best tight end in the league. You could throw Travis Kelce in that conversation.
That's a
I like them both though.
I don't know.
I have them both in fantasy.
We could do that for a comparison one.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. That's really tough.
But it's really close, and George Kittle can do it all. Especially now, you're looking for tight ends that can both block and pass catch, and George Kittle is that prototypical guy who can do it all. He seems to be a funny character, has a funny characteristic. Everyone seems to like him. There's so much to like him on and off the field. And this has been a need for the Titans. Are we on the Titans pick right now?
Yeah, Chargers.
Chargers, sorry. It has been a need for the Chargers. That's what I was thinking.
Like I said, they got Hunter Henry, so they kind of fill that need as well.
They did, but at
Titans
this point,
it was, tight end now.
it was still a need to be addressed. and he's the best tight end in this draft class. So
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, let's move on to pick number 8. It is the Panthers. I forgot who they originally drafted. I know Christian McCaffrey. Sorry for that little fill up for a second. But I recovered from it. So they drafted a running back in real life. Christian McCaffrey already off the board going to the Jaguars earlier in our 2017 remock. So they decided to go with the position of need, the running back position. Again, Tyler kind of previewed this guy earlier, saying there was another running back on this list, and it is Dalvin Cook going to the Panthers, who's currently with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, if he continues to stay healthy and if he gets his contract situation figured out, he's going to be good in real life with that Minnesota team. But say he goes to the Panthers, McCaffrey's out for it. I think he would still do a lot of things. Maybe not as much in the passing game, but he'd still be a great asset for them.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook, especially last year, the injuries have been there. Not really last year. We saw what he can do. Featured heavily in the offense, and he was able to handle it. Now looking for a contract. Who knows, by the time this video comes out, because we're very much pre-recording this, he could have his contract. But he wants some money. He deserves to get some money. He deserved to go high in the draft, and that's where we have going here.
All right, fair enough. Moving on to pick number 9. This is the Bengals. Up in here, I could barely read it, but it is the Bengals who are drafting. And we had them picking Marshawn Lattimore, the cornerback who is currently on the Saints.
Well, the Bengals, 9th overall, they drafted John Ross.
Yeah, that didn't pan out too well.
First of all, that's a mistake. So, Ryan, I'll let you talk about where we had him going.
Yeah, and you look at, what they were, what the position they were in at that pick. John Ross at the time seemed like a great pick. Didn't he? Yeah, he has the 40-yard dash record still, right? But, that's only one
He wasn't
pick.
a high prospect until he had his really fast 40.
Yeah.
He ran 40 yards and got drafted in the first round because of it.
Yeah, there were definitely some iffy kind of receiver picks in this one. So I think that, Lattimore, he's proven himself.
He went 11th overall, so it wasn't that much behind.
But still, I think that would have been a better pick because John Ross, he's still on the team, but he's just, kind of dead cap space at this point.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan on that one. John Ross should not have been the pick. Marshawn Lattimore moves up 2 spots, and that's that. Let's go to pick number 10.
Yeah, I like this one.
Pick number 10, the last one we're going to do in this video. Don't know if we're going to do this as a series or not. We'll probably just go with 10. But it is the Chiefs who are up to bat with pick number 10. Ryan said he likes this one because he's a fan of the Bills. This is a player who is currently on the Bills. He plays the cornerback position. It is Tre'Davious White.
Yep. And, if you watched our live stream that we did a little bit ago, he's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. I expect big things from him this year, and I think that, at the time, the Chiefs' defense was a little iffy. So I really, up until last year, they were a little iffy, so I think this would have been a great pick.
Even the secondary is still a little bit iffy right now.
Yeah, for sure. So I think this would have been outstanding. When we looked up the players that were, drafted in this year, 2017, I didn't realize that Tre'Davious White was this young, so he's still got a lot of good years ahead of him.
Clearly, the Chiefs are not getting to Patrick Mahomes. He's been gone for a while. Too talented to go 10th overall, but still getting a good player out of Tre'Davious White. Ryan brought this one up when we were brainstorming who would put there, and we liked it because he's a very similar guy, to add on to Ryan's point, to Stephon Gilmore, who won Defensive Player of the Year last year, has that type of talent. Still young, as all these guys are. But we thought he was deserving to be in this video. We wanted to mix it up a little bit, and that's where we went with it.
Yeah, and I just want to name 2 more people that were honorable mentions who didn't make this list, but Ryan Ramczyk and Marlon Humphrey, 2 names that were thrown out there in the conversation as well, who did not end up on our list, but they were 2 great players as well.
Yes, those were 2 that we were also thinking about putting in there. Plenty of other good players from this draft, but we don't have enough time to talk about all of them. So there it was, the first 10 picks of redrafting the 2017 NFL Draft. One of the more interesting drafts we've had in recent history. A lot of implications on the 2020 season from this draft. Let us know what you guys think of our redraft. Tell us what your redraft is in the comment section down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. Like I said, comment down below. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.